The empire was founded by Osman I. Osman gained control of the frontiers up to the Byzantine Empire. He then divided Anatolia into different states.
Little is known about how the Ottomans gained control of their neighbors. After Osman died, the empire expanded to Eastern Europe and the Balkans. Orhan was Osman's son, and he gained control of Bursa and made it the Ottoman capital. He then captured almost all former Byzantine lands.
They expanded westward and controlled the Bosporus and the Dardanelles, which led to the Mediterranean through the Aegean Sea. In the 14th century, the Ottoman Turks expanded into the Balkans. With the new guard, the Ottomans defeated the Serbs, advanced north, and annexed Bulgaria.
Over the next 300 years, Ottoman rule expanded to areas in Europe, North Africa, and Western Asia.
After the death of Suleiman, the empire began to fall apart. Russia became a growing threat. They fell behind Europe militarily and technologically.
War caused inflation, and the economy slowly fell apart. Its territories began gaining independence. The Ottoman defeat in the First World War was the final stage of its dissolution.
Early government was divided into its civil administration and military administration. The state had control over the clergy. It was a dynastic institution.
The Ottoman Sultan was the highest position. The Sultan was also a hereditary position. The Divan was the Sultan's group of advisors.
A series of caliphs also gained power. Sultans later fell from power, and the Grand Vizier was the de facto head of state. Local governors often acted independently from the Sultan. The General Assembly was divided into the Senate and the Chamber of Deputies.
Like most people on the Anatolian Peninsula, Ottomans were Sunni Muslims. Ottoman sultans had claimed the title of caliph since the early 16th century. Sultans gave religious duties to a group of advisors known as the ulema.
Non-Muslims had to pay a tax, but they could choose to practice their own religion or convert to Islam. Most people in the European areas remained Christian.
Ottoman capitals were developed into major industrial and commercial areas. They tried to increase government revenue without hurting the private sector. There were many overland and seas trade routes throughout the empire. The government encouraged the cultivation of virgin lands.
Osman I announced independence of the Turks. Suleiman was the longest reigning sultan of the empire.
Mehmed IV was the last sultan. Ahmet Pasha was the last ruler of the Ottoman Empire.
Sugut was the first capital city. Bursa was the second capital city.
Edirne was the third capital city. Constantinople, now Istanbul, was the final capital city of the Ottoman Empire.
The first unit consisted of various tribesmen from Osman. It consisted of recruiting and fief-holding peasants.
Ottomans were among the first to use cannons and muskets. The navy also contributed to the expansion of the empire.
Ottoman Turkish was the official language of the empire. The language was highly influenced by the Persian and Arabic languages.
Created using Powtoon.